Good morning and welcome back to another daily dose of Mike Mynar. What a wonderful morning. It's raining. It's bright. Well, it's not bright yet. It's actually still dark outside. That's what happens when you wake up 4 o'clock in the morning. Start traveling, getting on the road. What I thought about this morning, I was meditating on, taking my shower. I was just really thinking about things. What do we go through? What's a great thing to talk about? And when you look at where we're at in the month, so we just had Valentine's Day a few days ago. And now we're a little over halfway through the month. We got 10 days left, roughly. It's a short month. And the question you got to ask yourself, or the position you might be in, is you're not on pace, you're not on par, you're not hitting your quota, you're not going to hit the level that you set a goal for the month, you're behind. So what do you do at this point? By now you've gotten behind, you maybe started to get frustrated, maybe you started to get irritated, you haven't been creating your sales, your paychecks are starting to go down, you're starting to get nervous, you're starting to get scared, maybe you're getting a lot of bank rejects or objections from the customers, you're just not able to close those deals. What am I going to be able to do? What's going on? What's wrong? I'm struggling. These leads aren't working. These appointments, these clients, prices from the company, all the other excuses in the world. There's something going on, right? We're frustrated. Well, first off, before we get there, I want to teach you about pace. Figuring out your pace. Where do you stand? Where your numbers are? What do you got to do? You see, I'm a numbers man. I believe if you want to make something happen, you want to accomplish something, you got to have numbers in place. You got to represent. Everything's got to represent a number. And this way, you have a plan. As a former Marine, you always have a plan, a battle attack, a battle plan. So, what is my plan? What am I putting into place here? So, figuring out your pace is pretty simple. Basically, you just take the number of days in the month that you've already gone through. So, let's say we've been through 15 days. Or 20 days is a little bit easier math. 20 days, right? And we've got 10 days left in the month. So we did our first 20 days. And let's say we sold $200,000 in business in the first 20 days, right? So you just divide that, 200,000 by 20 days. And basically that gives you 10,000 a day, right? So I'm selling $10,000 worth of product per day. And that's giving on an average of 200,000, or 200,000 in sales gives you an average of 10,000 a day. Now, granted, there's some of those days you may not have worked. I just like to use all the days because then it gives me really easy math. So what is my pace for the month? Well, if there's 30 days and I'm averaging 10,000 per day, I just take the 10,000 and multiply it by 30, and that gives me 300,000. So I'm on pace for 300,000 for the month. But my goal, my quota is 400,000. So what do I need to do to catch up? What do I got to do to get to that? Well, if I got 10 days left and I'm averaging 10,000, that's only going to get me to 300,000. I need to figure out a way to make another 100,000. Well, if there's 10 days, I need another 10,000. So I need to bust my hump, and I need to just put out 20,000 a day instead of 10,000 because I'm behind. So at this point, I need to double my numbers. This is how you can check yourself daily. You can check yourself weekly. You can look at your pace. Am I on pace for my goal? Am I on pace for my quota? So that kind of gives you a game plan. But let's talk about the next thing you can do, and it's what I call change your socks. Just change your socks. So if you got a streak of bad luck, a streak of not closing, a streak of not selling going on, a streak of being behind on your sales, sometimes just making a simple change can change everything in the world. So I've used the socks as an example. I've told guys in the past when they were getting nothing but bank rejects, they started getting in their head that I'm getting nothing but clients that are not home, people that are not interested, people that can't afford it. All those weird things that you seem like you get over and over and over, and that's all you get. And that's because your mind is attracting it. You're thinking it. And the more you think it, the more you're going to receive it. And that's simply because that's what you identify. You're going to see it. You may see 10 things, but 4 of them are this customer says no to you, or this customer can't afford it. Those 4 or 5 customers you see that say that, you're gonna believe in your head that it was all 10 of them. Unfortunately, that's the way the brain reacts or acts. When they say trouble comes in multiples of 3, that's just because we're used to saying it, and we look for it, we expect it. Well, it doesn't have to be the case. So I say change your socks, and the idea is to get you thinking differently. I gave a representative one time who was on a streak of bank rejects. I gave him a funky pair of socks I bought at the store. I think it had bacon down the side of them, just something different, something weird and strange, and just to change his way of thinking. And so he got those new socks on, and started thinking, how silly is this, in front of the rest of the team, but I told him to do it. And by the end of that day, he actually went out and sold a job, and it wasn't a bank reject. It didn't get turned down. And then he went out, I believe the next day or 2 days later, and he went and sold again. And by the end of that week, he sold 3 or 4 jobs, and none of them had bank rejects. And I think it was by that third day or whatever it was, he went and bought a really cool pair of socks, and he was taking pictures and sending it to all the guys. He's like, check out my socks, And so what he didn't realize is over the next, couple weeks, he sold, 6 or 7, or I can't remember exactly, 7 or 8 jobs. I think at least 2 of them were bank rejects. But he couldn't see that. His brain wasn't focused on that. So making a simple change. If things aren't going good, change your t-shirt. I like changing the socks. Change something up. Change your pen. Change your hairdo. Rearrange your office. Rearrange your car. Just change something real simple to get your mind thinking about something differently. And you'll be amazed at what difference it can be and what can happen. Because pretty much everything you're doing out there is just a mindset. What you're thinking about is what you're going to get. So if you're believing and you're seeing, you're thinking that, I can't sell, or all I'm getting is bank rejects, then, unfortunately that's all you're going to end up getting. So just once again, change your socks today. Go out and have some fun. I used to tell people, look, I don't want you to go sell today. In fact, it'll make me mad if you go and sell. What I want you to do is I just want you to go relax and make a friend. Have a little fun, get to know someone, find out information about them. Find out about the things they love, find out about how many kids they got, what's the last vacation they've been on, what's their favorite sport. Just connect with them, find out something about them, something you didn't know. Just get to know someone, make a friend, and you'll be surprised at what happens, what comes of it. And check your socks, change your socks, go get you some fun socks and put those on. Just have a wonderful day, Just remember, what you think is what you get. What do you put into your head? The thoughts you put into your head they're going to dictate your day. You control that. So start your morning out right. Get excited. Know that it's a good day. Know that you deserve it. Check your pace. See where you're at for the month, and see how hard you got to work. And maybe that extra day you put out, that extra work, that extra effort, because I believe effort never equals zero. I think doing that, you can see a world of a change. I believe you can have a bad week sometimes. I believe sometimes you can even have a bad 2 weeks. But I'm a firm believer in the fact you can't have a bad month. I just don't believe it. So it's just a way of thinking. So change those socks. Thank you for tuning in for another daily dose of Mike.